Let's talk about Evangelos Marinakis, the owner of Nottingham Forest here in the Premier League, and the recent controversy that is, of course, courted. Now, of course, Marinakis is a very controversial figure in not only English football, but also especially in his native Greece as well. But let's just park that to one side and let's talk about what happened on Sunday against Leicester City in the Premier League. Now, Forest have been having an incredible season. They looked like they were going to be shoo-ins to get the top 4, or at least now in the top 5 to get Champions League football. However, at the time of recording, because of their 2-2 draw in the Premier League at the City Ground, their home ground, against their local rivals Leicester City, they have dropped down to 7th, and there were a lot of frustrations after the final whistle. This on paper was a very winnable game, and indeed Nottingham Forest were winning this one 2-1 until pretty late, albeit of course Leicester City did take the lead in the first half. Now, after the final whistle was blown, Marinakis stormed onto the pitch and wanted to, it seemed, confront his manager Nuno Espirito Santo after the game, and it seemed like there were some words exchanged. I must be honest, looking at the footage, there was definitely passion in there, but I don't think there was a big disagreement. I don't think there was a fight like some people are trying to actually make out. And indeed, Nottingham Forest, they have put out a statement basically labelling a lot of the speculation and reports as fake news. However, he did go onto the pitch and he did talk to Nuno, but now what he said is a mystery. We don't know. We are not lip readers. I am not a lip reader. I don't know what was said. Only Nuno and Marinakis know what was said in that confrontation. And in truth, we will never know what was said. They're never going to make that public, for very good reason. I am very sure about that. Now, a lot of people were assuming this was due to the fact that Nuno lost 2 points in this one. After all, they were 2-1 up against a side that was already relegated at this point and had nothing to play for other than pride, albeit a lot of pride given that this was an East Midlands derby match. Forest are claiming, though, it wasn't because of the 2 points dropped. Instead, he was frustrated due to the injury that was sustained to one of their players. Late on in the game, Taiwo Awamani, who I'm probably saying incorrectly, I do apologise, but their striker collided heavily with the post, and he actually sustained an injury to his abdomen because of that. And this was also an incident as well that in my opinion should not have happened. He collided with the post, but this was during an incident where he was clearly a mile offside, and the referee, the assistant referee I should say, did not flag for offside until very late. Now that is the regulation, that is what they are told to do. I'm not blaming the linesman for that, or in this case the lineswoman I should say. It was actually a female assistant referee that was on the line in this case. But you know, she's just doing what she was told to. She's just doing the regulations for that. But I think that regulation does need to be changed. I don't like it personally because it can result in injuries like this. And we've finally seen one. It's taken a very long time for it to happen. We've seen one in the case of Awamani, who of course actually had to have surgery on Monday night, urgent surgery the day after because of this incident, and he's recovering in hospital and he's all good apparently. But yeah, it's just a nasty thing to happen, really. And of course, we've only got 2 games left of the season, and Taiwo may not play in either of these matches as a result of this. That is what Forest are saying anyway. But I think there was definitely some frustration in there. The fact that they lost those 2 points, they've dropped down to 7th place. And as things stand, unless sides above them drop points, unless Manchester City win the FA Cup, then that is currently only good enough for a Conference League spot. Now, of course, this is a massive deal for Nottingham Forest, and come what may in the last 2 games of the season, they will still get into European football, and it has still been an incredible season for the Tricky Trees. But they want Champions League. They want to be a big club. They want to join that top 6, as it were, if the top 6 even exists anymore. I mean, we've got the likes of Newcastle in there, Aston Villa. They want to be that Nottingham Forest. They want to do what Leicester did many years ago and eventually challenge for a Premier League title. I have no doubt that is their ambition one day, but to get there, they have to get the funds in because of PSR. Of course, something they already broke a few years ago. They need to be able to get the revenue, and to get Champions League football, that would absolutely bring in the commercial revenue, bring in the TV money, of course, with that as well. So I think there's some pent-up frustration from that. And yeah, the injury to Omni, he may well have been annoyed about that as well. I mean, I was pretty annoyed personally. I'm not even a Forest fan. I don't even like Nottingham Forest personally. My team and Forest are pretty big rivals as well. But, you know, I really respect what Forest have done this season. You know, they've done an incredible job to be where they are, and It's kind of sad to see them slip down to 7th right at the end of the season, but, you know, you've got to get up there. It's such a competitive league, you know, 65, 70 points or so, like all those teams are on, you know, that used to be enough for an ironclad top 4, but now that might only get you 7th in the Premier League, such is the standard right now in the Premier League. And the real tragedy as well as Forest fans may see it, is the fact that the side's currently in 16th and 17th. One of those two, Tottenham Hotspur or Manchester United, will of course get a Champions League spot because one of them will win the Europa League, and yet Forest, who may well finish in 7th, could potentially only get a Conference League spot. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid, when it comes to football. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Was this because of the injury to Awamni? Was Marinakis right to come onto the pitch? Personally, for me, I understand he's passionate and everything, I get that, but I will be honest, it is a bit much to see an owner come running onto the pitch like that. It just doesn't really sit right with me. I understand he's passionate, I get that. No one's going to accuse him of not being passionate about Forest and having literally so much invested in the club. And he wants to see them succeed. You know, he wants to see them get Champions League. He doesn't want to be in the Europa competitions. He wants the Champions League. So we will see what happens. And on top of that as well, just one thing to actually mention as well. Some people are saying, oh, Nuno should resign. This was embarrassing for him. You know, he's had his authority undermined. Get out of here. He's not going to resign. Why would he resign? That's a ridiculous statement. Don't even entertain that idea. Unless something happens behind the scenes, it's just ridiculous. I don't see that ever happening in a month of Sundays personally. But yeah, Forest fans, let us know what you think in the comments below. I've seen you guys in my comments quite a bit when I've spoke about Forest in the past. I want to hear you showing up in the comments. Get your thoughts in there. Was he right to storm the pitch? Let us know in the comments below. And we'll see you very soon for much more content like this on the world of football. Have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world today.